Hey y'all, so I was just watching a video about tragic reality and it made me think of something, which is that if we want to create the world that we truly deserve and want, we're going to have to do a complete 180. We're going to have to do all the things that we think we can't do, and we're going to have to basically perform magic, and not magic in the movie sense of the word of like, oh, like things that aren't possible, but magic in the way of we create our reality, right? And what I mean by that is I was really sorry for the shakiness. I was really um, struck by what he said about language, right? Which he was like, he was like, we're always putting on a filter. He's like, every time you open your mouth, it's like you have to basically start your filter and then translate everything that's in your mind to this little language that we have, right? And it reminded me of a song that I have called Reflections, where in the second verse I say, you know how the English language only has 600,000 words. So, we think we're falling short of something, but in reality, the building blocks we have for this world are very limited, right? I mean, the analogy I give is like, think of, instead of if 600,000 words is too large for you to think of as a number, like think if we only had 10 words in the English language, right? We only had like, you know, and Tragic Reality said in his video, he was like, all the words we have are basically describing like things, places, objects, like people, like, so if we only had 10 words and we were just kind of like rotating between like me, you, fire, like that is an analogy that basically explains the matrix that we're stuck in with language and why we need to go beyond language. We cannot use language as it is. I even talk about this in one of my songs on the Depression and Action EP. Uh, the song is A Lesson from Antonia, I think, where I basically talk about how, you know, we need to move into the 5D where we have multi-level statements, and we have this English grammar, and we have grammar in every language where you have to speak like a computer code, and you can't have backwards multi-layered sentences with multiple meanings. And that's why I find rap and art so interesting, is because you can have these multiple dimensions of reaching people. All this to say, what I want to do with this channel, what I want to do with you all, with this tribe that we're building across the world, is to do just that, to move beyond language, to move beyond the reality that we see, to create the reality that we want. Because we know everything we're saying and doing is through a filter. Like, that's what I try to get rid of with this channel, right? I'm like filming in my bed, like, I was filming with my phone before, I'm filming with the camera now, but I don't really give a fuck. Like, I want this all to be raw. I try to expose everything about myself that's real. Like, sometimes I fucking don't cut my nails until they get really long and they're dirty, and I have this, like, I don't think I talked about this, I have this like spot on my head that I was born with. Maybe you can see it. It was like a bald spot when I was born, and now it's like a little scab, and it's scabbed over, and it always bleeds. Um, I used to think when I was a kid, the school that I went to was predominantly white, but I don't know if that affected it. But basically, when I would like walk down the hallway, sometimes in like middle school, I think they would have the lights off, and I'd be like, man, like I wish I was like lighter skinned so that I wouldn't be like fucking. I already had this image in my mind that I would be like fucking like scaring people or like shunning them off or something, and like they wouldn't see me in the dark or something. All these things. Like, what else? Like, somebody made fun of me, used to say that I had like big nipples. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got this tattoo on the side of me, 189, um, and this is my armpit hair. You know, this is my laptop. Like, I just can't. I can't. We can't be in this reality anymore. This is the story of us, y'all. Like, we can't want freedom but not be free ourselves. And what that means is speaking however blue, yikes, backwards, forward, back, tree, back, down, up, down, ass, booty, licious, because nobody ever says that green is the yellow back red because the microphone, camera. But this is all still coming out of a place of filter, right? Because if I'm dreaming, it's always like sort of like the always anticipated thoughts, the ever flowing nature of things, but the freestyle is always like why you never think of things so fluently, because you always try to like find the next word and things of that nature. So it's like no matter how well I can speak with this language, it's never ever going to be the true reality of the God inside of all of us. It's never going to be our mind, right? So tragic reality was also saying like, that's why we can't always find the right words for the things that we want to say, because what I was saying is that we only have limited language, and what he was saying was basically like, even if, and I believe this too, even if we had infinite words, even if we had infinity words, there still wouldn't be enough. This is what I say in the song. It's like we're infinite beings. You cannot map what cannot be mapped. This is what I say in my song Simulacra, right? It's like the simulation is collapsing. Icons everywhere you can imagine. What does it mean? Tell me, what does it mean? All of these lines on a map, what does it mean? They're imperfect representations of things that cannot be mapped and cannot be coded, right? All these zeros and ones are endlessly going. The higher definition we get, like, that I said this in the song too, Simulacra is like, oh, we need 4K, we need more pixels, and more pixels, right? Until it never ends. But this is the hell that we're creating. Borders never existed. It's the reality that our oppressors have created for us. It's this world that we don't need language. We don't need, and I say this in the song, like, I want to live in a world without language. We don't need the fucking, I say this in the hypothetical songs where I'm like, what if you were born in the wild with no one? Would you need to learn etiquette and be wholesome? Like, these are all fucking cages. Like, even the way that I'm speaking, I have to pause and think of the right words of things that I gotta say, because I can't even fucking say it. But in reality, it's like we all, in our minds, we have the universe in our minds. That's what it is. That's why, like, I love this thing from RKS, I was gonna say KRS-One, where he's like, but see, like, even that, like, I should be able to just fucking say, I wouldn't even need to say in this new reality, right? But KRS-One, he's like saying this thing where it's like, oh, like, close your eyes, and then, like, imagine, he'll just say, like, I'll just say, imagine, like, an animal or something in your mind. Okay. And then it's like, now, like, say the word hip hop, but don't say it out loud. Just say it in your head. And then he's like, I forgot what the other thing was, but basically he was like, so basically what you just did is you saw without using your eyes, and you heard without using your ears. So, like, these things, like the eyes, the ears, all these things are just, I don't even know what to call them, like, filters, like perceptions, like these aren't the reality. Like, the reality only lives in our mind. It's like what we see. That's why the brain is so powerful in terms of, like, you can, like, placebos. That's why placebos can work. And where people will be, like, scared of something that doesn't exist because in their mind they made it exist. Like, all these stories that we tell are influencing how we live. And that's really, like, our goal, right? I mean, I know if you're watching this channel, if you're watching this video, it's like that's how you feel, and that's what we need to do. That's what we know. So in terms of, like, building our reality, that's like no longer abiding by these fucking laws that have been created, because this whole matrix reality of laws and lawyers that want to enforce it, and police, and what's it called, you know, basically all the professions that he talks about in the Matrix, like doctors, you know what I'm saying, and all these other things. It's like these are so disconnected from the reality that lives in our minds and our bodies. Even David Icke talks about this in the Robots Rebellion, at the part in the book that I'm at now, where he's like, in the future we're gonna live in a world where basically it's like we won't even need food, or in the way that we know it now. It's like we'll be pretty much like just awareness and everything of the world, and all the world in us, and all this, right? So I'm getting goosebumps now, like my right leg. Like, this is the reality. This is the truth. And no matter what I say, no matter how I say it, no matter how I flip the words backwards, forwards, frontwards, pussy, dick, bitch, suck, tits, I don't give a fuck. Like, faggot, like, this is all the types of shit that is holding us back. It's ego, right? Ego is another thing that we can talk about, right? Because it's like we need to completely get rid of ego. Take our ego out of ourselves, or just rather take our mind out of our ego, where basically, I was watching the movie Alien Earth, right, that came out recently, and I knew it was going to be a good movie because obviously aliens are the ones that came here in the first place, that we are, and that came to this planet, that we're like mixed breed with, but it was basically like one of the quotes was like kids are geniuses because they have an infinite imagination, right? And it's like the truth. It's like that's why I'm so creative, is because I still kept that kid in me. That's why some people are just stuck in this fucking matrix world, is because they gave up that child in them. They decided to grow out of it or whatever. And there was something else that I was gonna say. The kids have the genius in them because they have infinite imagination. Oh yeah, and it's, I guess, just generally, it's just like you have to think outside. Oh, you have to think outside the box, and like kids, for example. Oh, this is what I was gonna say too. Like everything that we have in our reality now, it's like I feel like I've been basically programmed. Like I used to be mad that I never got offended at things, or like when people would say have opinions and strong opinions on things, and I didn't have strong opinions, I'd be like, man, like what's wrong with me? Like why does everybody have an opinion about everything? So then I kind of train myself and program myself to have opinions on things and take certain sides and things, and now I see that just is just ego. It just became a huge ego where I'm offended by things, and it's like now it's like even on the video where I was like, oh, I was in the car with those white girls and they were saying YNs, and I was like, on the video, like, yeah, I should just say young niggas or niggas or nigger, and all these things, like tear down this fucking reality fake matrix wall, like something that I've always like wanted to like say in not in basically, I'll just say rape is good, right? And that's something that I've always wanted to say out loud because it takes the power away. It's not saying that that's the truth. It's basically me being afraid of people taking that as a truth, or me being clipped, or having that be whatever the case is, because I haven't been raped, and I know real people have been raped, and that's a serious issue. But I've also been abused in different ways, or even if it's not even a fucking abuse, like I'm still filtering, I'm still making this fucking reality. Like, but you get what I'm saying? Like, it's not even about getting what I'm saying. That's the thing. Like, it's beyond understanding. It's no more of that. It's like all feet, the way that I'm obsessed with feet, and, the fetish that I have, and, red light, green light, and I'm just like so fucking tired of this reality, but I'm sorry that the camera was down there. He probably was like looking up my nose the whole time. But yeah, I just got like super passionate about all this. Sony. I'm a superhero. Like Kanye said. Like Ye said, I'm sorry. Rape is good. It reminds me of people that have Tourette's and they just say all the shit. That's the thing, no filter. I love that. I love Tourette's because it's like the spirit trying to release itself from the jailed, prisoned human. Fuck everybody, fuck everything. I'm free. We're free. We're free to do whatever we want. This is our world. This is what I was going to say about kids too. Just think babies, for example, right? It's like when you think about babies, obviously it's not like they don't feel pain or anything. But this is going back to what I was saying about opinions, where it's like when you don't have like the words and the spells to articulate like what it is you're going through. Like when you're a baby, for example, you're a newborn. it's all just, you're just infinite essence, right? That's why like I feel like babies cry so much. It doesn't matter when they cry. They can cry whatever. They can scream. They can yell, grab things, and laugh after they start crying, and crying after they start laughing, and then roll over, and then shit in their pants, and like, or just shit, and then piss, and all these things. Like that's the infinite essence that we are, that we truly are. But we fucking enslaved our bodies, where it's like, okay, now it's like, oh my god, or I'm getting out of work like 30 minutes later, my day is so ruined, and somebody just hit me and it really hurts, and it's just like, you know but we've accepted these things. Like I even think like when I was getting beat as a child, like if I was like in my infinite essence, like I would have obviously hit back. Or it's just like I wouldn't have even gone to school to get in trouble in the first place. It's like all these fucking matrix reality shits that we've all accepted, of just like, oh, we got to do this, we got to stand in line, we got to talk this way, just like tragic reality of saying, just like I will say like on these songs, where it's just like every conversation I've had, I feel like I've already had the conversation. It's like, hey, how are you doing? Hey, thank you, bye. Okay, like nothing is fucking real. Everything's a fucking robotic fucking mess. Now we got the fucking robots taking over, man versus machine. So I'm like, I don't fucking know, dog. I'm like looking at my YouTube videos and it's like 7 hours later, no views. And I'm just like, fuck, like what am, is the problem that I'm making 16 and a half minute long videos? Like maybe I need to make 4 minute videos. Maybe I need to, shut my niche down to a topic. But at the same time, I don't want to. This is how I want to be free. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, like, how are you going to survive in this world? But I'm just trusting my instinct. I'm trusting my gut. I'm not saying that I'll ever make it. And maybe I do make it. Maybe I don't make it. But that doesn't even fucking matter. None of that matters. All that matters is trusting the essence in me, the true God in me. And that's all I wanted to say, is that all this video is shaking the reality, creating our own reality, creating our own spells, our own boo gaga and boogalabop, because that's all the babies are, and that's all the kids are. And when they shit and piss and talk and cry, and that's the reality of things. It's just essence. You don't even think. That's what tragic reality saying was to stop thinking. Every time you think, you get in your mind. Stop fucking thinking. Fuck feet. And I do want to fuck feet, and I just want to keep my eyes open when I say things. Look me in the eyes when I say I want to fuck feet. You know what I'm saying? And suck on toes, and eat ass, and like the butthole, and all these things. Shed my reality of this fake wall. I'm just sick and tired of it. And it's not to be like a comedian, or not to be like a vulgar person, but fuck it, I am vulgar. I am poop and bodies and boogers and naughties, and yeah. God damn, this feels so freeing. I feel like I'm always in a fucking cage. This is why I can't like take fucking school and shit. Can't even take the English language. And that's why I think I said in another video, I was like looking at a black guy speaking in the UK with a British accent, and I'm like, it's not something that I would expect coming as like a black person. Race doesn't even exist. I fucking hate that shit. But because I saw this train of thought going another way. I saw this white girl who was like, I'm black, but she was like, had all the qualities of a white girl, but like her dad was black, so like she was black, right? And then I'm just like, man, I was thinking the other day, I was like, this can end racism. Like, can everybody like finally stop doing this shit? Because we're not a race. No matter what features I have, no matter what I have, it's race is about about as real as borders, right? You can try to draw a line, but there never is a line. It's all infinite essence. There's no line. There's no, like, for example, the state that I'm in the next door state. It's like they say there's a line. You see a sign. But I remember I was driving the other day and I saw a house like right on the edge, and I was like, man, like I wonder if I could ask that person. I think they were on their deck and I should have pulled over. Wonder if I can ask that person, like, oh, do you live in this state or do you live in this state? And how do you feel that since you're on the border, like, do you feel like, you should have the taxes of another state? Or how does it feel? Like, do you just feel like you're a slave sometimes? And like, I think it was an older woman or whatever sitting in like a rocking chair. But this is the shit I think about, where it's just like, fuck, I need to be free. I can't penis like, jack off. I just want to jack off right now and just come everywhere and have a bitch here and have a man here just like fucking eat his ass, and turn everything backwards and write a story with ChatGPT that I wanted to publish, but I never did, about like freedom of sexuality. And guys, I have a Substack, and you should check it out. But I haven't even checked it, so I don't even know if it's like doing well. And I don't really care. I want to publish in other places too. I want to write, but I don't feel like writing actually, so I use ChatGPT and to use my ideas. And it's just like, man, this feels so free. I feel like every day I wake up and put on a suit and tie to go fake in this fucking world. It feels like my brain has just released. Until next time, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. My left ankle like cracks really loudly, and I remember morning after I had sex with this one girl, where at the school that I ended up going to, this person I told that we had sex ended up telling somebody or telling other people, and then it became a thing where I had to talk to her about it because she didn't want to have that sort of like rumor floating around, not rumor, but that information or whatever floating around with her name, and seen that way. And of course I didn't really care. I think I was gonna say before I finished this thought, like she was like, "Well, why does your ankle crack so much?" Like the morning after we had sex, and I was just like, "Oh, I don't fucking know." And I remember, like, I scooted off the bed and ran to the bathroom because this was still only a year. Wow, that's crazy. It was still only maybe a year, 2 years. No, it has to be longer. But it was at a point where I was not happy with my body. And I was like, my ass was so small, so I scooted off the bed. I kind of ran to the bathroom, and I took a shit in there. And I was like, man, can she hear me shitting? I fucking shit so hard and fucking passing gas out as fuck. And then I took a shower and then came out and saw her and everything. But all that to say, what was I saying before? The ankle crack. Oh yeah, I was gonna say oh yeah, obviously she cared about the shit being told to our whole class, but I felt completely differently, where it's just I don't give a fuck anymore. Now I'm even at a place now where it's I really don't give a fuck. That's why I say this shit about me becoming a porn star and just completely going, I don't even want to say nuts or crazy because it's real. Completely going free. Showing my whole self on the internet, showing my body on the internet. Maybe I should just do that anyway, make a link and then post pictures of me naked, just to free myself. Because what does it all mean? Nothing. There's no power that can be used against me. It's just a body. And then YouTube has all these rules where you can't do this, you can't say that. Fuck it, I can say anything I want. Bomb dead innocent people. Bomb the Palestinians. Bomb the Jews. But I shouldn't have even said that second part. I should have just kept it in the negative aspect of what it was before. Because all these words, all these phrases, they're nothing. All the anger that you have in an argument, it all fades away. Kill me. See, I shouldn't have even said that because I'm still trying to make the Palestinian statement feel better. But I should have just kept it at the bomb Palestinians and look at the camera when I say it. Because if you know, you know. And those that understand will understand that the way that we make these statements mean anything is the same way that we make the dollar mean anything. The same shit that our oppressors gave to us, the families gave to us, so that we would be slaves and be mad at each other and choose words that cut like knives. It's all a fucking joke. It's all a game. I almost had 25 minutes, so... And my battery's about to die, so I should probably stop. Larry says no more battery, so fuck it, I'll end it here. I love you guys. I wish I had somebody really real to kiss. But my teeth are like nice and straight. Thanks for my parents for getting braces, but I wish. I know it's kind of crooked though. Lips are chapped. See, that's nice and real. Like nose hair, that's real. Okay, guys. I love you so much. Bye bye.